What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I'd like to give you guys my thoughts on the Falcons' new defensive identity. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support, continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about the Atlanta Falcons' new identity under Ryan Nielsen, which is attack and aggressive. I've loved the new formula and this new defensive identity. I really feel like over the last couple seasons, since we lost Dan Quinn, or since the Dan Quinn regime, I really feel like this Atlanta Falcons team didn't have an identity on defense. Dean Pease did a great job of laying the foundation for his defense, but I really feel like Dean Pease didn't have the weaponry he needed to really run his defense like he was able to run in New England and run in Baltimore when he was with the Ravens, because we didn't have any money. So we really couldn't bring in the players that he really needed. We had a lot of young players and a lot of guys on one-year deals, a lot of veteran guys on one-year deals. And I really feel like Dean Pease kind of got the short end of the stick because he really couldn't deploy his defense the way that he wanted to. But if you listen to the players talk about Ryan Nielsen and they talk about Dean Pease's defense, I really feel like Dean Pease's defense is a lot more complex than a Ryan Nielsen defense. And I just love that this Falcons team has found their identity finally with Ryan Nielsen bringing that attack and aggressive style of defense to Atlanta. I really think that this is going to bode well moving forward and bode well for this team this season. Because I believe in the trenches and attacking the line of scrimmage, I really like Ryan Nielsen's personality. I really like his enthusiasm. He seems like a player's coach, but I also like aggressive style defenses. When we had Dan Quinn running the cover three, I'm not big on teams that run a lot of zone. I'm not big on defensive schemes that are not aggressive, because I really feel like if you want to be a really good defense, you have to impose your will on the opposing teams. And I feel like now with Ryan Nielsen's scheme of attack and aggressive, that we're going to set the tempo in a lot of these football games. We're going to make teams adjust to what we do, and we're not going to adjust necessarily to what other teams do. Of course, you're going to have in-game adjustments and things of that nature, but our aggressive style is going to be the way that we play football. And if you look at New Orleans and the way that they play football, they blitz their linebackers a lot. They blitz a lot of corners and things of that nature. They play a lot of man-to-man defense. And just watching this Atlanta Falcons team over the first two preseason games, it looks like this defense is more confident. Of course, we have better players because we were able to go out and, spend money, bring in guys like Bud Dupree, bring in guys like Calais Campbell, who are impact type players. And we had the money to bring in a Jesse Bates. And I really feel like, as I mentioned, that Dean Pease, he just didn't have the players that he needed to deploy his defense the way that he wanted to. But I really feel like Ryan Nielsen has all of the pieces to deploy the defense that he wants. And I really feel like this aggressive style of defense, we're going to force a lot of turnovers. I feel like we're going to also sack the quarterback, because we're not going to just rely on our defensive line and front four. As we've seen with Dan Quinn, his scheme is basically, the cover three is based off of having guys like in the front four that can get after the quarterback without having to expose your secondary and not having to blitz and things of that nature, and basically, giving up yardage and things of that nature, where I feel like this Ryan Nielsen scheme is more privy to, blitzing, is more privy to putting pressure on the quarterback and making the quarterback get rid of the ball early. So I really feel like it's going to cut down on a lot of big plays. We know that our Falcons team has struggled when we had Dan Quinn. We struggled with getting off the field on third down. Even when it was third and long, we struggled getting off the field. because Dan Quinn would never blitz. He rarely blitzed anyone. And even over the last couple seasons, the last 2 seasons with Dean Pease, he was reluctant to blitz as much as he normally would because he talked about not wanting to leave the cornerbacks that we had on islands by themselves because we really didn't have a lot of experienced corners and we really didn't have a lot of great talent because we had a lot of young guys in the secondary. So Dean Pease was less likely to blitz because he didn't want to put guys on the island. But I really feel like we've seen in these first 2 preseason games that Ryan Nielsen's not afraid to roll the dice and put corners on an island and allow those linebackers and those extra guys to go after the quarterback and to go after the football. And I really feel like this year is going to be a lot of ball deflections at the line because we're a lot bigger in the defensive line. We have a lot more taller guys with long arms that can reach up and bat the ball. And I expect our linebackers, our safeties, and our corners to be very opportunistic. I expect guys like AJ Terrell, who really hasn't had a lot of interceptions in his career because he was playing off a lot. He wasn't playing a lot of press man coverage, and we weren't really getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, so the ball didn't have to come out fast. And I really feel like this year, the cornerbacks and the safeties and the linebackers are going to benefit from the blitzing that we're going to do and benefit from our defensive line, putting pressure on the quarterback at all times. I really feel like the ball's going to have to come out quick. And that's when ball deflections happen. That's when interceptions happen. That's when fumbles happen. So I really expect this defense to force a lot of turnovers this year. And I'm definitely looking forward to this Atlanta Falcons team being one of the top teams in the NFL as far as forcing turnovers. And I really think that this Atlanta Falcons team could easily be a top 10 defense based off of what I've seen these first 2 preseason games. I know it's just a preseason, but I really think that Ryan Nielsen, him coming and laying the foundation for this attack and aggressive style of defense, I really feel like he has the players to deploy that style of defense. And I really feel like the players are doing less thinking and they're just going out there and reading and reacting and basically making the offense adjust to what we're doing instead of us always trying to adjust to what the opposing offense is going to, trying to do to us. I really feel like we're going to put so much pressure on quarterbacks and on offenses, like I said, that they're going to have to get the ball out fast. They're going to have to try to run the ball. And I really feel like we're going to be able to make teams one-dimensional. You guys know I've been talking about that for years on defense. If you have a really good defensive line, which this year we really have a really good defensive line, if you're able to limit teams in the run game as far as each carry, if you can hold teams under like 3 yards a carry, I really feel like this Falcons team can force a lot of 3rd and long situations. And the worst thing can happen on the 3rd and long situation is dealing with a team that likes to blitz because the quarterback doesn't have time. He's going to have to let the ball go quick. And that usually means either interception, a tip pass, or usually a sack because those wide receivers are not going to have time to run those long developing routes. So I've been really impressed with Ryan Nielsen, really impressed with this whole defensive staff, not just Ryan Nielsen, but Jerry Gray, the assistant coach and the secondaries coach, Steven Jackson, I believe his name is, in that secondary as well, helping coach these guys. I really am impressed with this whole defensive staff and what they've done so far with this defense. But I really feel like that attack and aggressive style is really going to bode well for our Atlanta Falcons this year because we're one of the faster defenses and one of the bigger defenses, and we have a lot of depth. And that's something that they keep preaching, is that we're going to have guys going as hard as they can, and we're going to have line shifts because we have so many, weapons on that defensive line. Guys like Grady Jarrett, guys like Calais Campbell, they're not going to have to play the whole game. They're going to have, certain times where they come out of the game when they get worn out. You can bring in that second, the second line, defensive line, allow those guys to go hard, and then bring Grady Jarrett and Calais Campbell in those critical, those critical moments in the fourth quarter when usually guys like Grady Jarrett was gassed in the past because he played so many snaps. I really feel like with his snaps going down this year, You're going to see the best out of Grady Jarrett. You're going to see us staying fresh because we have so many guys that we can rotate on that defensive line, similar to what you see with the Philadelphia Eagles, similar to what you see with the San Francisco 49ers. Because we have so many guys on that defensive line, I really feel like we're going to be able to wear down teams in the trenches, similar to what we've seen with our offense over the last couple years, with us being able to run the ball and grind teams down. I feel like on the defensive side of the ball now, we're going to be able to do the same thing the offense has been able to do, is beat teams up in the trenches and wear them down over time. But by the time the fourth quarter comes, we're going to be able to impose our will. So with that being said, this has been your boy Jew. You guys let me know what you think of Ryan Nielsen's new defensive scheme, attacking aggressive. I really love the mantra. I really love the attitude that this team is playing with. And I really love an aggressive style defense. So with that being said, this being your boy Jew. I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.